Jack Grealish, the man who was worth €100 million, once celebrated for his creativity and flair at Aston Villa, has struggled to fully show his potential since moving to Manchester City. Is Pep Guardiola, the tactical genius behind City's success, unintentionally holding Grealish back? Let's dive into how Grealish ended up here. Grealish himself hinted at his frustration after a standout performance for England. Following a brilliant goal against Ireland, he spoke about missing the Euros, calling it one of the worst summers of my life. His celebration, with fingers to his ears, seemed to express a deeper feeling, a player eager to prove himself and play the way he used to at Villa Park. At Aston Villa, Grealish was the team's star. He played with freedom, always demanding the ball, running at defenders, and looking to create something special every time he had it. His role wasn't just to fit into a system, but to be the system. However, since joining Manchester City, his role has drastically changed. He's been forced to hold back his natural creativity, and as a result, we've seen a much quieter version of the player we all admired. Take a look at Grealish's statistics at Villa compared to his numbers at City. In his last season at Villa, he averaged 41 ball carries per game. At City, that number dropped to just 29. His touches in the box also fell from 6.5 to only 2.1. What does this tell us? Grealish isn't running at defenders as often, and he's not getting into the dangerous areas where he can really make a difference. The issue seems to be Guardiola's system. Pep Guardiola is known for his tactical brilliance, building one of the most successful teams in football history. His system is all about structure and discipline. Every player has a specific role, and everyone must stick to it. For some players, this system works perfectly. Kevin De Bruyne, for example, thrives under Guardiola's system, but for Grealish, it seems to be stifling his natural flair. At City, Grealish is often stationed on the left wing, where his job is to maintain width, keep possession, and wait for the right moment to make a move. This doesn't play to his strengths. The raw creativity, the fearlessness, the willingness to take risks, all the qualities that made him special at Villa, are being suppressed. Instead of driving forward with the ball, Grealish is often cutting back inside and passing it off. This role limits his effectiveness and doesn't allow him to be the game changer he once was. You can see this shift clearly when you compare his performances for City with those for England. Against Ireland, England manager Lee Carsley deployed Grealish in the number 10 role. This allowed him to move freely across the pitch, combine with teammates, and look for opportunities to unlock the defense. Grealish thrived in this role. Ireland's defenders struggled to handle him, and his goal was a perfect example of what he can do when given the freedom to express himself. In contrast, his role at City often confines him to the left wing, where he's expected to stay wide, cut inside, and pass rather than drive towards goal. It's a role that doesn't fully utilize his abilities and keeps him from showcasing his true talent. Guardiola has made Grealish a more disciplined player, but has he taken away what made him special? Speaking of special, it would be really special if you could like and subscribe, even comment your favorite player. Thank you. Let's also consider the competition Grealish faces at City. With the arrival of Jeremy Doku and the presence of wingers like Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden, Grealish's playing time has been reduced. In the title-winning season, he only started 10 games. Despite playing a key role in City's treble-winning campaign the year before, Grealish now finds himself fighting for minutes, and Pep seems to prefer Doku's pace and directness over Grealish's more creative approach. Grealish's potential impact becomes even more apparent when we think about Kevin De Bruyne's future. De Bruyne is a world-class player, but he's also approaching the end of his career. At 33, he can't play every game forever. Grealish could be the ideal replacement in the number 10 role. He has the vision and passing ability to fill De Bruyne's shoes. He's also a superior ball carrier, and his finishing ability is top-notch, as demonstrated by his goal against Ireland. Imagine Grealish working more closely with Erling Haaland. Haaland thrives on service, and Grealish has the vision to provide it. If Grealish were given more freedom in a central role, closer to Haaland, the partnership could be devastating for opposing defenses. Grealish's creativity and ability to drive at defenders could complement Haaland's goal-scoring prowess perfectly. Former City defender Micah Richards has emphasized this point. He believes Grealish is most effective when he's allowed to play as a number 10, where he can drop deep, get on the ball, and make things happen. Richards notes that Grealish isn't afraid to take risks, which is something we've seen less of at City. Instead of playing with freedom, Grealish appears to be restricted by Guardiola's tactical demands, which limits his effectiveness. So what's the solution? Guardiola needs to adapt his system to better utilize Grealish's strengths. The England international should be given the freedom to play in a central role, where he can use his creativity and vision to impact the game. This approach worked for England and could work for City as well. If Guardiola can find a way to integrate Grealish's natural flair into his system, City could have a game-changing player on their hands. If nothing changes, Grealish might need to consider his future. With clubs like Arsenal and Bayern Munich reportedly interested, he has plenty of options. At 28, Grealish is entering his prime and can't afford to spend his best years playing a role that doesn't fully utilize his talents. While City guarantees trophies, personal fulfillment might come from finding a team that allows him to unleash his full potential. Jack Grealish is too talented to be held back by tactical restrictions. He's a unique player who deserves the chance to fully express himself. If Guardiola can adjust his tactics to fit Grealish's strengths, City could unlock a new level of creativity and success. If not, Grealish might need to seek a new challenge where he can be the superstar we all know he can be. What do you think? Should Pep Guardiola give Jack Grealish more freedom, or is his current role the best fit? Share your thoughts in the comments below.